So you want to find out a couple of the keys to being a successful real estate investor? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you 4 different keys to being a successful real estate investor. Coming up. Hey there, it's Billy with Keep On Cashflow, and I'm here to help share with you some different tips and strategies that are going to help you to make more money, that are going to help you live with less stress and also have more free time. Now, on this channel, I'm also going to be sharing weekly tips and strategy videos just like this one. So if it's your first time here, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. You also want to make sure that you leave all of your likes and your comments in the section below. It's great for the community and it's a great way for me to help to answer your question. And speaking of questions, I want to get back to the question that you're probably asking yourself, which is, what are some of the different keys to being a successful real estate investor? And as someone who's been in the multifamily real estate investing space for a while, especially doing that long distance, living in Spain and investing back in the United States, there are really 4 keys that I've found that help to be successful in long term. And the first thing that I'd like to share with you, the first of the 4 keys is really helping you to understand and be clear on why you are investing in multifamily real estate, or in real estate in particular. And it's something that I've talked about in the past, but when you're really clear on why you're getting into this space and whether you're going to be an active investor or a passive investor, this is one of the things that will help you through the most difficult times, right? Because the easy times, it's always easy to get through, but sometimes when you're, especially as an active investor, there will be times that are really challenging, and you'll really need to cling to that why you're investing in real estate as an asset class, and also specifically multifamily, which is something that's close to my heart. So that's the first key, is really being clear on why you're getting involved in real estate investing. The second key, and this is really more of a tactical thing, right? It's about making sure that when you're investing, that you have a very strong component that is related to cash flow. And what do I mean by cash flow? That means once all of the expenses are paid, whether they're operating expenses or they are debt service or more financing expenses, like the money that's left over, like making sure that you have money that's left over month after month, because that cash flow is what allows your business to continue to survive, whether it's your business or it's also paying your investors if you're more interested in being a passive investor. So the second key is making sure that you're investing, that you have a strong component there that is for cash flow. The third thing, and this is something that's really close to my heart, because most of you know that I love to travel. And every time I travel, there's always that moment when the plane is on the runway and then we're getting ready to take off. And right before we take off, we're actually on the runway. And so the third key is making sure that whenever you're investing, or whoever you're investing with or through, that they have a long enough runway in terms of debt, right? How are they taking care of their debt? Are they borrowing it from other people? Are they going to a retail bank? But making sure that you have long enough term on the debt that you're borrowing, the mortgage that you're borrowing, making sure that that is longer than the amount of time that you plan on holding the property or being in the property, because that will allow you to forecast or look forward and see what one of the most important components of your expenses are. So making sure that you have long enough term debt is a real key to being successful as a real estate investor. And then I would say that the last thing is, and this is probably one of the things that I didn't do very well in the beginning, so this is also why I really want to share that for you. It's one of these things that my parents used to talk to me about all the time, right? Was, make sure that when you're working that you have a rainy day fund, basically that you have enough money to take care of things if something goes wrong. And this is where I see a lot of more inexperienced investors make mistakes. And like I said, when I got started, this is one of the biggest mistakes that I made. Make sure that you have a rainy day fund. Make sure that you have enough money that are in your reserve accounts, that if something happens to go wrong, your entire business, it doesn't take a hit, or you're not in an issue with being able to pay back your investors. So I would say that that's something that's really key. It's something that I didn't do very well in the beginning, and it's something that I want to share with you. So if we want to review just very quickly, what are the 4 keys to being a successful real estate investor? Number 1, you want to be really clear as to why you're getting involved in real estate as an asset class. Number 2, you're going to want to make sure that you have a very strong component that is focused on cash flow. Number 3, you're going to want to make sure that your runway is long enough, that your debt service or your debt is a long enough period that provides you safety. And then lastly, you're going to want to make sure that you have that rainy day fund. So in the event that something happens or goes wrong with an HVAC, with plumbing, with the roof, that you have enough money to be able to pay for that and your business can continue to go forward. So I wanted to share those 4 things with you, and I always love to hear what your comments are. So I'd love to know of these 4 things, what was new for you, what was not, and also just to get your feedback on the video. Is this something that you found useful? Is it something you didn't find so useful? And what you would like me to talk about in the future. So, and if you did find value in the video, I am going to ask you, go ahead and like the video, share it, and leave your comments. So this is Billy, once again with Keep on Cashflow. That's my 2 cents for today. And as always, hasta la próxima.